All right, let's see how all that sounds together. So what's up with y'all? Y'all good? Good. I'm Trent Gibbs. So I always appreciate y'all for tuning in, locking in with the boy. It's been a minute, but we ain't gonna get into that. So what we about to look at today is another R&B joint. I'm gonna take a couple minutes to talk about sound selection, because in my last R&B video, Raz, he asked this question about knowing what sounds to choose, how you know which sound's gonna work. And I got a couple thoughts on that. So yeah, let's just get active, bruh. All right, so I kicked this off with some keys. And like I always say with these R&B joints, you gotta extend your chords. Sevenths, ninths. We still gotta wrap up the theory thing, but y'all should have a pretty good start based on the last video. This is the drum loop I came up with. That's just smooth already, bro. Yes, Ersky. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, this a bounce right here. This a vibe. The next thing I added was my acoustic guitar. I played a couple riffs. This is the first one. All right, and so to complement that, I added another guitar riff. Smooth, man. It's just nice. Then I added some keys. You know me, man. I don't know how many times I gotta tell y'all. I love putting keys in these joints, man. It's just you can't go wrong. R&B and keys, it's peanut butter and jelly, bruh. Yes, Sirski. See, I'm doing the same thing, letting some notes hang, and I'm playing a quick riff. Tension, release, tension, release. And then on the second half, the second 4 bars, switch up. And then when the turnaround comes around, a unique riff there. So you see what I'm trying to do, right? Even though the chords is static, you always feel like something's going on. You know, if it's one riff here, you'll get another riff in the next 4 bars, you'll get a turnaround. So it's always something new. So when somebody listens, they'll catch something every time that they didn't catch the first time, hopefully. I added some strings. And it's simple. I'm just following the chords. I'm taking the notes that's in the chords and I'm trying to do some movement with it. You can see by the pattern that there's some movement going on. That's another kind of tip. Your melodies should have kind of like a direction, a flow. If it's rising, it rises. If it's falling, it falls and then picks back up. It should never really feel static unless that's like an effect you're going for, you know? All right, so let's listen to all of the instruments kind of together and see what we got with that. Yes, there's. So let's talk about sound selection real quick. My kind of approach to it. I got a couple tips, like 2 main ones. If you don't, already know this, because some of y'all lit for real. First tip is to give each instrument its own sonic space. Let's listen to the first instrument. You hear that's taking up like a lot of mid, a lot of lows. and it's in your face. It's not reverbed out. You know what I mean? It's not in the back of the room. It feels like it's in front of you. To complement that, I'd probably want to add an instrument that's higher in the frequency range and maybe further back in space. I like to think of these instruments like they in a room. These Rhodes right here, they would be in the front and center of the room. Let's think of the room like a box. They'd be in the front middle, right? Let's add the first guitar riff. That's in the back of the room, right? Like it's sharing the same frequency sound. It's still lowish, but it's in the back, so they're not clashing. So it works. The next guitar. All right, so that's also in the back of the room, but it's higher in the frequency spectrum. It's not in the lows, right? It's sitting above that other guitar and slightly above the first set of keys. Now the second set of keys, that's in front of the room with the first set of keys, but it's higher in the frequency spectrum. So y'all see how I'm trying to build these. Then you got the strings. That's higher in the frequency spectrum, but that's in the back of the room, like to the left or to the right somewhere. Then you got the pad. That's a little higher, but it's in the back to the left instead of to the right. So when you think of putting your sounds together, think of them like they in the room together, right? Put one sound in the front center, put one sound in the back center, put one sound maybe off to the right a little bit, not up in the same frequency as the first instrument, you know, give them their own space in the room, in the composition. That's my first tip. My second tip is to give each instrument its own temporal space, its own space and time. Let's listen to this again. Static chords, hitting on all the downbeats, right? Hitting on all the downbeats. The next instrument is filling up some of that space. See, they're not hitting at the same time. You got the chords for boom, dun, dun, dun. It's got its own space and time. They're not clashing. The second guitar riff, it fills in the fills that guitar is playing. It's almost like a call and response between just the two guitars. The piano's about to come in and fill in more subdivisions. Like right now, it's really static. We hitting on the downbeats. So now the piano is gonna come and fill in some of those 8th, 16th notes. Maybe some like 8-note triplet kind of runs. It's filling in some of those gaps. This example right there. Another example right there. Right there too. There are parts where it's complementing the other instruments, like right here. But the other instruments fall out and then the piano keeps going. They all have their own time in the spotlight in time. And you start to see it's more movement. It feels like it's... Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? Like, do y'all get what I'm trying to say? Like, let me know, because I'm talking to myself right now. Shit crazy. Yeah, so that's my little rant on sound selection. A couple more things for this. I just added an 808. Okay, with my 808s, I'm following the root notes of my chords. So you could really listen to my 808s and tell my chord progression. And that should be true with any bass instrument. They usually hold down the 4 as far as the root notes in your chords or your progressions go. All right, let's see how all that sounds together. Second half, I bring the strings in. Shit's a vibe, bro. All right, y'all. That's all I have for y'all today. My apologies for the extended absence. You can see I'm in a new space. It's kind of getting that together, and it's kind of hard to do these videos when everything's kind of moving at the same time. But we set up now for the most part, so I'm on y'all top. Let's get it. Yes, seriously. Next video, we're going to talk about building a drum groove, because it was another good question somebody had about how I go about building drum grooves. So we're going to break down another beat and talk about that. Then after that, we gonna finish this theory thing. Y'all gonna learn how to build these chords. We gonna get that shit done. You heard? And after that, we're gonna keep it moving. More cookups. Let me know if it's anything y'all trying to see. I'm gonna see y'all soon.